They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to talk about the epic Salmon collapse. Let's go bomb chemical weapon plants and spray more chemicals all over people. But first off, I want to get to my activism. So, believe it or not, I got some media that actually says they're going to interview me. So I'm going to be in New York May 10th to May 17th. So I'll be in New York City for a week. I'm still working on the fucking Oregon gig, blah, blah. I hope to be in San Onofre, and then I hope to be in Vienna on in mid-June. Maybe Copenhagen also. I got some work. The symposium, they only meet twice a year in Vienna. The nuclear rats, all of them, everybody who's everybody, you know, their conference. This one's on their uranium, fucking, what a scam, fucker. But it gives me a great place to protest, and I can make a lot of fucking, I get a lot of work done there. And that's where the decisions are made at the IAEA, believe it or not. In Vienna, the Austrians are so anti-nuclear, it's unbelievable. And so, I mean, the fight's on over there in earnest. Here, asleep. So let's get to the salmon number. So today, the 14th, as of tonight, I just got an update tonight. There's 159 Chinook salmon in the entire, for the year, in the entire Columbia River drainage. You heard me right. Now, last year was a horrific catastrophe number, right? Oh, they're just late. High water. Remember high water? There ain't no high water this year. So, what should they have for the year? I mean, the run's on. The run starts in earnest about March 28th. They should be getting, you know, upwards of 3,000-4,000 a day now. I mean, they should have, I mean, it should be well over 5,000. 139. You heard, oh, excuse me, 159. It's a fucking catastrophe. So, now the litigation going on in, now, this is important. The litigation that went on in Japan, they're litigating it right now. So, he's on this stand testifying that they could have put a wall there and they didn't, blah, blah. I don't think a wall would have did anything. Because here's the problem. This is a dog and pony show. The tsunami wall would not have stopped the Fukushima disaster. And hear me out, San Onofre, Diablo, all the reactors around the world. It's well documented. The Mach 1, Mach 2 was built here. Freaking these criminal General Electric bastards, they cheated. They can only handle an earthquake. The core can only handle an earthquake up to about 7.6, 7.5, and then they crack. This thing went into fucking meltdown immediately when the earthquake happened. Immediately. Right off the get. So, it wasn't the tsunami. So it's a dog and pony show. Now, 12-12-12. Remember, I used to do a radio show inside Tokyo in the early days, before I got cancer. Remember? And then even after I had cancer. And, I mean, I'd get thousands of emails a fucking day from Japan, all over. But, so they had hearings over there. 12-12-12. Now, this is important. I listened to the whole translation. I had Mikado translating for me inside Japan. Every word of it. They says, inside the hearing in 12-12, they came out and said, we started dumping into the Pacific Ocean on April 3rd, 2011. Just like Kevin Blanche reported to the T. Just like I've reported everything to the T. I want to say this, too, about the fucking Trump bomb in Syria and fucking... Look, this is real easy. Please allow me to introduce ABE. Now, listen to me. This is important. So, under Yalta by the Sea, you know, Stalin's words, what did Churchill use to poison FDR when he dropped dead? What happened to Wallace? We got Truman, Dorothy Day. Truman, I hope it sucks up into your brain. My favorite radical, Dorothy Day. Who, by the way, I was at the Dorothy Day house in D.C. I mean, I can get into that whole dynamic. The Megan Rice, I mean, wow. Let's put an 85-year-old nun for trying to wake you guts up. She couldn't wake you up. So, I was at the White House. I crawled up, leading 5,000 radicals. I got my mask on the back of my head. I'm unanonymous. All men know my path. So, I'm screaming. We already were talking among us. We were among us. Clintgrad, Trumpgrad, you know, the anonymous crowd. We're all talking about secret trips that rumors all over. Remember, we have the peace vigil in front of the White House. We're the eyes and ears of D.C. We know everything, you know. Felipe and Craig, I talk to them every day. So we're talking, look, they've cut a deal with Russia. Trump and Hillary were both in Prague. Now remember, I was in Prague in 2015. Trump's lawyer was in Prague in summer 20. Trump, what? A spy who loved me. So now remember, ABE, the cover-up of Fukushima, is that rat. I mean, the globalist rat, the oldest, the chrysanthemum empire. Yoko Ono's freaking cousin is the heir. I mean, he's the rat. The monarchy's never been so strong. London, Liz, and her Tsar Putin. And if you don't think same old theme, 1916, I want you to look up the DNA swab. Look it up, the DNA. When they found Anastasia Bonepile, the heir to the Tsars, the heir to the Romanov royal family, I want you to look it up. It's Prince Harry. So they're fighting again, and they're using the Syrians for pawns. Now, this is important. I was on the train going to Budapest, and there was a guy from Syria. He spoke very broken English. And there was a woman. She could help him talk. We were talking. I says, he looked like I'd never seen a black guy like this. He was a farmer, you know, looked good. A good-looking, decent guy. Dressed well, you know. Sophisticated-looking guy. But you could tell he was a farmer. And he says, well, the drone killed my 2 grandchildren and my wife and blew my eye out, and I'm going to Budapest to get Syria. And he started to cry. They're blowing up things. So, ABE. First one in Trump Tower. I was there that night. I took the bus from D.C. I was there. I crawled up on the statue. It says, Clinton, Trump, the Russians have occupied the White House. They will never leave. Look it up. Play back the tape, Your Honor. On the 5th of November, 2016, we knew. We always know. So, the White House. He's the first one in Trump Towers after the election. After the inauguration, Putin popped one off on the inauguration. Remember they sent in the sniffer plane? We still haven't cracked that. I'll work on that when I'm in Europe. So, he's the first one in the White House for 4 days. ABE. They go to Mar-a-Lago. Remember, they blacked out the windows. No media, blah, blah, blah. So then they just pound fear. North Korea, boogeyman North Korea, under the Yalta by the Sea Act. They can only call special election in time of war in the United States. They're the 51st state. That was the deal. You know, Russia took freaking most of Europe, and we took fucking Japan. You know, half of Germany. So, that was the deal. So they can call a special election in time of war. So they amped up, they pound the drums, fear North Korea. We can take those out in a second. They pound them. Then they call a special election, and the great freaking globalist rat of all time, the kingpin rat, ABE, gets reelected. He would have never got reelected. The anti-nuclear movement, I mean, that's what you don't get here in the United States. The anti-nuclear movement in Asia is gigantic. Oh, Taiwan, oh, do they fight back? I mean, the food, all of it. Nobody in the world's getting the food in here but us. The anti-nuclear movement is gigantic in Europe. Oh, I mean, for instance, the Berlin reactor, they had a protest they organized for a week. 500,000. The biggest organized anti-nuclear protest in the United States, I've organized them all. Every one of them. The biggest one we had was probably 1,200 when we got sent off. I organized in San Diego. You know, New York, we used to get a few hundred at my events. Now we get, you know, me and Patrick McCormick. And so, Leadbelly's guitar, Cobain's guitar, McCormick's guitar, fucking, who crashed into the wrecking ball into your fucking guitar, into your bone marrow. So, they call special election, get him reelected, and then immediately, as soon as that, no more fear-mongering North. What? Trump's over there making buddy. Thank you. We got him reelected, the globalist. Same old theme, 1918, the Black Plague. I mean, this is just the same old monarchies fighting. It's a board game to them. And if they really did use missiles to blow up fucking malicious dumps, Stormy, let's take off the fucking... I mean, I like how you guys are still calling her a fucking ex-porn star. She's a old washed-out prostitute. And then you see this fundraiser. They show the picture of this fundraiser. This is the ugliest dude I ever saw. This playmate fucking got knocked up by him. What? These freaking whores will sleep with fucking Jabba the Hutt himself for money. They're disgusting pigs. I mean, I call myself son of Cassandra, because I am. I really am the son of, for I see and no one believes me. Who's Cassandra? She wouldn't sleep with Apollo, and Apollo was beautiful. He wasn't no creep. She wasn't about to give up her sexuality she protected her integrity. He cursed her with being able to see the future, and no one would believe her, and all her heirs for time and all eternity. So I'll be in New York the 10th, 16th. I got a good plane flight. So I've been, you know, hopefully I can get some money raised so I can get my plane flights, get everything. The salmon collapse is in earnest. And I mean, you can go and fucking denial all you fucking want. Something this corrupt fucking place. I'm so disgusted with. I mean, Weber County, fucking, you're the most corrupt place on the face of the earth. You're all fucking go along. You think you're on the winning team? Go ahead with your corruption, because I'll say one thing. There's one thing that's going to override all the fucking corruption. It's called karma. Hope you don't get cancer. I just keep looking at this. I was given too much to live 6.5 years ago. I'm alive. What a life I have. I mean, I don't have any money. Whatever, it broke me. I was a millionaire, but you know, I love my life. Because when I was in that bone marrow transplant center going in and out of a coma, my chest split open last year. A year ago right now, I collapsed. I really thought, that's the one time in my life I thought I was going to go. You know, and I wasn't born with these scars across my face. I mean, what a war I've had. You know, Idaho, the fucking thing that's going up there. San Onofre, and I got work to do in San Diego. I'm going to be back at PB. So I'm getting plane flights and I'm getting everything freaking scheduled to go. I got a lot of work to do. You know, I'm not going to give up. You know, I won't give up. So New York, May 10th through 17th. We'll be back at San Diego working with the Department of Energy to get the waste moved from San Onofre to WIP. That's where it's going to go. Of course, Idaho, fuck, I might ride up there in the morning. And fuck, what a nightmare that is. And then, of course, here fucking Utah, the Energy Solutions fucking dynamic. But Vienna, I'll be in Austria. I hope to be in Copenhagen. I'll be in Denmark. Fuck, they're so fantastic. You want to talk fantastic Denmark gets dark half the year. They're so fucking alternative energy. I mean, solar fucking. I'll show you when I get over there. I'll go to some places that will blow your mind how they do it. I mean, it's just us here in the United States. It's disgusting. We're nothing more than the Queen's colony. We're the Queen's fucking colony. That's all we are. We're willing to pay. They don't even have to have a military now. We'll do it for them. My heart goes out to fucking the people of Syria. Look what we did to Fallujah. White phosphorus. What's white phosphorus? Depleted uranium. Now, you think there's a coincidence that he bombs them now, right as they're experimenting with the nuclear waste at Idaho National Lab, and they have a bomb? They're fucking madmen. They don't care. They don't care. It's just a fucking... They don't care. Same old thing. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get Dick Cheney friend a big old sack. Went off to fucking Vietnam to kill that Viet Cong. How nice is they invented Daryl ISIS. ISIS, boogeyman, fuck North Korea. So I got to come up with a new one, you know, the Syria dynamic. Stormy, fucking, fuck, what a fucking, I mean, what a thumbprint of this fucked up place to have. I mean, wow, this place is so corrupt. What a corrupt land we live in. Cancer for all. Stay tuned.